Give them a shot to do what?
Bert, it's National Funeral Director and Mortician Recognition Day. So
what?
Do you know any famous national morticians, I guess?
I don't. I also don't want to.
Yeah.
That seems like, unless they're like a family or a friend, and that's like their obviously their occupation, but like, no, I don't know if I want to celebrate that. But
Yeah.
weird. I don't know. There doesn't need to be a national day for everything. Can we just come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
Like, this is getting out of hand.
Yeah, I am trying to figure out like there obviously had to be like the Martin Luther King of funeral directors and morticians to be like, you know what, we should recognize this person. Like, we should recognize all of them.
I mean, where did it start, right? I think it was the recognition of, I know that there was like a teacher's day, there's administrative assistance day there. Like, I get these like integral support roles that maybe are under recognized. And I get that. Right. Yeah. And I'm not saying that this doesn't fall in that category. I'm just saying, do we need a national day? Like, do we need a national bus driver day or, you know, a national crossing guard day? People are going to be in the fucking comments about this one. I know it for a fact. Yeah. Like, what about National Leatherman Day of all those leather workers out there, you know?
Right.
I mean, come on.
There doesn't need to be a day for everybody. You're right. There doesn't need to be a day for everything. That being said, shout out to all the morticians and funeral directors out there. That is it's a thankless job.
It's a very tough job. Yeah.
It can't be a job that you sought out. Like, how many fifth graders are at, like, you know what I want to be? You know, astronaut, police, fireman.
It's got to be family businesses, right?
Funeral
like, it's got to be something that, like, my family has done this year over year. Yeah. It is one of those things that begs the question, do you show up excited to go to work every day? Because I can't imagine that to be the case.
Yeah. And in this in bad taste.
Unless it's like an ex and you're like, all right, this is the best one this week. Yeah. Jesus.
I would go to college just to do that for an ex of mine. Like, let me go get all the schooling I need, go through the years just to sew her up and just lay her to rest.
An online course you can take really quick.
Yeah. Just kidding. Hey, is there like a 2-week funeral mortician, like, sped up course that I could take? But yeah, very much a family business. Yeah. Much like 7-Eleven owning, if you're Middle Eastern, or Chinese shop owning. Like, nobody. No, sorry. All right, yeah. Let's just start the show.
Sports.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stuff About Sports. This is what happens when we take
2 weeks off.
2 weeks off. I just start. I get with my
filter
thoughts.
We work so hard to build up just completely erodes away. Yeah, but so hey, it's getting warmer, right, for us in colder weather places. So dams are breaking, the floodgates are opening. Like, this is what's happening.
Yeah. So for all you young podcasters out there, just know that consistency is key, because you can build it up and it all goes away in about 2 weeks. Bert's been working very hard on me for several years now, and I still slip up sometimes. So
it's why I'm here. That's why we're here collectively. It's a team effort.
It is a team effort. Please like, share, subscribe. It helps us out a lot. At the Give Us a Shot Network on the YouTube, at Give Us a Shot Network on Instagram and Facebook, and then at Stuff About Sports on the Instagram. Oh yeah, at Give Us a Shot Network on TikTok. TikTok's been blowing up lately. I think the algorithm got fixed. So shout out to all of you first timers, last timers, long timers. We are Stuff About Sports. I am the Facebook felon Jerm. That is the prettier Corey Bert. We are presented by the Give Us a Shot Network, powered by Fast Break Coffee, and sponsored as always, Bert, by the Raiders. Shout out to y'all. Bert, where do you want to begin? This NFL free agency has been crazy. I guess
Active.
One of the more
Yeah.
active ones, or yeah, and maybe active, but at least interesting. Like there's actually some real storylines that I don't think we can begin, or there's not a storyline bigger than the Raiders, Ravens, will they, won't they kind of
Won't they?
trade. There's a lot of differing opinions, and I can see both. But what did you think of how the Ravens handled basically trading 2 first-round picks for Maxx Crosby? Then today is technically, a couple days ago, the legal tampering, right, is where you're allowed to negotiate, but you can't do anything final. And then before 4 p.m. today, where NFL free agency officially began, word last night is they backed out of the trade and then signed disgruntled Cincinnati Bengal Trey Hendrickson, freshly free agent, to basically the same deal, just without giving up the draft picks. And the Ravens basically cited that, yeah, we got to look at his physical, even though we saw his physical when we made the trade offer.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, the physical looks different to us now, so we're going to back out of it. I'll let you go first. What do you think?
A prime example of buyer's remorse and getting out there and getting excited. And then while you're waiting for the paperwork to be signed, it's like when you're going to get a new car and you're like, this is great. This is fantastic. And you're going through it and you're signing everything. You're like, oh man, I don't know if I should be doing this. This might seem fiscally irresponsible for me. Like, I don't know. And that's exactly it. I mean, look, when you look at what the Ravens needed, they needed a guy like Maxx Crosby, and they went out and signed someone like him shortly thereafter. And the Raiders, being in a rebuild, they wanted the picks. They wanted to be able to go out and secure what their future looked like. And give it a day of thinking on it, ownership came out and said, you know what? I don't think this is right. They are leaning heavily on the excuse of, hey, he failed the physical, which honestly, I mean, it hurts his trade prospects elsewhere too, unless there's some sort of insider of everybody's like, oh, he's fine. But, in the statement that I think just recently came out, maybe an hour or two ago, I saw that, they weren't basically just saying that they reassessed the situation and they just figured that it wasn't a need at that particular time. They're upset in terms of how they handled it, and they understand why people are mad. But at the same point too, they didn't mention anything about his physical or a medical condition or anything like that. So I think it boils down to them being like, I don't really want to give up that much now. And this is where I'm standing. So he returns to the Raiders until someone else coughs up huge money. So
I'm 100% with you here, because like this is nasty work if you're the Baltimore Ravens. Because to me, if I'm a team, I don't know if I'm really going to be negotiating with them in the faith that I might have had before this happened. So, I'm not going to pretend to know what goes on in the front offices, but if you're a Ravens fan, I guess you would be happy that you get to keep the draft picks, but the optics on what people think of your team now has to change. Like you have to look at it different. And I like Maxx Crosby, man. He plays violent every play. He's a motor. I wish the Bills would have found a way to swing him. But you had the deal done. This guy's already said his goodbyes. He was already in Baltimore, like on his way, and then you do this to him. And I like Trey Hendrickson too. He's a professional, get the job done kind of guy. I would have been nice if the Bills would have happened to end up with him too. But you don't shake hands.
Still,
and he might. I mean, we signed Bradley Chubb, so I think that's probably the end of that. But who knows? Like NFL, and that's the other thing. Like people get tied up into the contracts and certain things. That stuff is just on paper. Like these things get manipulated and stuff like that. Guaranteed dollars, signing bonuses. People need to stop looking at the numbers so much and stop worrying about it. But I think
it's safe to say, regardless of where he goes, we know teams are at least going to give up a first. And then some, right? There's a lot of talk right now that the Bills could be a possible landing spot. So could the Eagles or the Cowboys, which makes my fucking stomach turn completely. Or
not a fan of that. Not a fan.
No, not in the least. Or he goes, hopefully, maybe Detroit, or New England. It really, but honestly, I mean, I think if anything, this puts the advantage to teams making that trade.
Yeah.
to at least point to and say, like, listen, you have the two firsts, and now you don't. And this is my best offer. If you really want the power to rebuild, here's what I'll give you. And remember, you faced all that cloud about like, oh, maybe his knee's not good, but now they're not saying his knee's not good. So I mean, I just think it gives the upper hand to the individuals coming out and making offers.
I like Trey Hendrickson, but you don't shake hands on a Crosby deal, then get cold feet.
Yeah.
Simply because of the bad business behavior that goes along with that. Like, you can't walk around here as a professional football team, and now you've built this reputation of you're shaky. Now, this is a little different than in-season trades because obviously things can't happen until the physicals pass. So this legal tampering thing, which I think they should get rid of, to honestly avoid stuff like this, because at the end of the day, the Ravens didn't technically do anything wrong. Like, they're not going to get into trouble for this, but it's fucked up because, like, then you have the Raiders who spent $187 million. Like, with Crosby's contract, there's a possibility, unless they can find a trade partner or figure out something else, that they may not be able to. They might have to go back on these these contracts that they gave out because they're not going to be able to afford everything. So that sucks. Like, and I think I disagree with you. I think the other thing that hurts the Raiders is the fact that this trade, they got backed out of the trade. Nobody's going to give you two firsts. Like, nobody's going to do that. Now the price just went down. Maybe you'll get one, but I don't know.
I think at least one. You have to, right?
Yeah, maybe. So
maybe 2026, not 2027 though.
Yeah. Then that's messed up. Like, if you you know what I mean? Like, this whole thing just has like a domino effect that I guess I wasn't totally prepared for, when it comes to because I don't think this has never been done before. Like, I don't know. Just when I first saw it, it feels disgusting, like almost like malpractice. And I don't know. I think I'd rather have Maxx Crosby. Like, he's younger. I guess I don't know who's a better player at this point because you have, and then it wasn't like Hendrickson was coming over with a clean bill of health. He was battling his own injuries that made him miss a bunch of time in Cincinnati. So, but if the Raiders can figure out a way to do what they did with the trade in mind, and then find a way to still somehow keep Maxx Crosby, they actually might be pretty good this year. So, like, it might have worked out for them. But yeah, if you're looking at this at the Ravens, that's, it's bad business.
I mean, listen, not the only team to cause drama over the past couple of days. And probably one of the first news stories that broke was the fact that the Dolphins have finally admitted defeat, that the $99 million quarterback that they signed and were so confident about is not good.
Yeah.
They've admitted that to the world by releasing Tua and eating at least $54 million guaranteed that they have to pay out for the remainder of his contract.
No, 99 million, almost 100 million. It's 50 million just for this season, and then they
so they have to. Oh, okay, I stand corrected. So that's insanity to me. But I think there's some vindication from Dolphin fans who can finally be like, "Thank you." Like, we've known this all along. We finally wanted the front office to admit that it's just garbage, and then they can move on. And so far, they have. But lo and behold, let those dirty birds, the Atlanta Falcons, swoop in immediately and sign him for a league minimum deal of 1.3.
Yeah.
Thinking that this is what's going to kickstart the competition in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't really know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about these underperforming quarterbacks that keep getting second chances so easily. Especially, I mean, Tua is one bad hit away from literally eating through a straw the rest of his life.
Yeah, and Miami's sick too. They really told him, like, "Hey, thanks for the memories, man. Go find a job on LinkedIn," and then sign Malik Willis,
same day.
On the same day. And listen, I like Malik Willis. This is like the Matt Flynn virus, man. Like, it was impressive what he did in Green Bay, but like you're signing him for a very, very small sample size of play. And I listen. They're gonna do this dual threat experiment again, and it feels like the Dolphins are playing Madden, and it's also, like you said, hilarious that you have the Panthers, who got better defensively, adding the likes of Devin Lloyd and stuff like that, and then you have the Saints, who got better offensively with some of their additions that they made. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Alvin Kamara. And then the Falcons just get Tua. It's like, if you're the NFC South, it's like, okay, like, look at all this stuff that the Saints and the Panthers did. And here the Falcons let a 1-year deal. This is the Russell Wilson thing all over again. Remember the Russell Wilson, he got bought out and then he signed, he signed with the Giants for like a really low number because the Broncos got rid of him because, through their trade. So
we went to Pittsburgh first, right?
Oh, Pittsburgh. That's what it was. It was Pittsburgh.
Because we went to Seattle, Denver, Pitt, and then ended up coming to us.
Yeah, he ended up in Denver and then had that
he lost
big
the job in
contract with
Pittsburgh.
And then he lost the job in Pitt and signed for like $1 million in Pittsburgh because Denver was paying him, so he didn't care. And this is literally the same thing. And it's just the Malik Willis thing is interesting because from a buy low perspective, like, it's the contract they gave him, we're not sure he's the starter, but if he plays well, we got something going. We're cooking with gas.
Definitely
now.
The starter.
No, I'm saying like a starter long term, I should say.
Oh,
like,
I got you.
He's starter now. Like, the contract isn't that of a starting caliber, like when we deal with franchise quarterbacks. We're giving you enough money to come here. However, the deal in terms of length is we're going to give you a little bit of time and prove to us that you're the guy, because they can easily draft a quarterback still with him. The money's not going to hurt you that much. And then obviously on that last year, the deal is an option year. So they really only have him for he basically has 2 years to kind of prove that he's learned from being drafted out of Tennessee and what he learned in Green Bay. And like I said, again, this is not really about him in terms of skills, because he did well in Green Bay, that little run they had there at the end. It was impressive, but yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what he ends up doing for them. Were you surprised that Mike Evans ended up with the Niners, like leaving Tampa Bay?
I'm honestly not. I think, over the past, look, he hasn't stayed healthy the past 2 years. So it does seem like, a Niners squad, the perfect fit, because Lord knows they have trouble staying healthy every single year too. So, but no, I think he was looking for a change of scenery, to be honest with you. And I think he wanted to go to a spot where, I guess, gave him the most competitive advantage. But no, it didn't haunt me like it did a lot of Bucs fans. I'm obviously not a Bucs fan, so I don't see this as an irreputable loss. But I know Ty was super upset, but another Bucs fans popping off too. But I get it. I mean, look, man, he's got a ring. He wants to stretch his legs a little bit, but he's going to go to the Pacific Northwest.
Buffalo trading for DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's huge. That really is.
It is huge. I have a bone to pick with Bills media, specifically the ones that work for WGR 550. Yeah, crumb bums.
Stop.
Yeah, the inbred incels over there. You troglodytes, you neophytes.
They're just not as excited as you are, is what it comes down to.
No, it's not. They're not excited about anything. They want the best players for the least amount of money, and they think that just because the Bills offer them a contract, the players have to accept it. And they're telling people every single contract that gets announced that the Bills make after a whole offseason of, we need to make moves. Well, now we're making moves. And every time something happens, whether it's a trade for DJ Moore, oh, I can't believe we should have just signed Alec Pierce, even though DJ Moore is better and costs more money. But DJ Moore all of a sudden is the guy, better than, he's easily the best receiver we have now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we signed Bradley Chubb. Oh, we should have went after Maxx Crosby. We went after Maxx Crosby. The 2 first, like, if the Bills traded 2 first for Maxx Crosby, you guys would be complaining. Like, it's enough of this doomsayer, hey, we want the best for the cheapest price, and we don't want it to cost us anything, and we want everybody else to take the risk. Like, the sports doesn't work like that. These guys are like McDonald's workers telling chefs how to cook food. Like, you guys, it's not the same. All right. Just because you talk about sports and you work in the radio or you work in media, and doesn't mean that you could sit there. I think I'm going to trust the Bills' new coaching staff that you begged for, you asked for, you wanted Sean McDermott gone, but now everything you're doing, you're scrutinizing it. It's shut up. Just shut up and let them figure it out. You have these people. I don't know if we haven't learned anything these last couple of years, is that the fans don't know anything. All right.
Yeah.
People as a whole are stupid. We have plenty of evidence of this. person is smart. So these few people that are making these decisions know what the hell they're doing. Like the Bills aren't so far off. We are closer to contending for a championship than we are being one of the worst teams in the league. And I know that the season didn't go the way we wanted to, but we lost by 3 points with Josh Allen committing 5 turnovers in a game, missing 3 of our starting wide receivers. We're fine. Yeah. We're okay. We just had some bad luck with injuries. And
I think the biggest thing to me is like, all I heard last year is we need a true wide receiver one. We need a true wide, like now you have one. Like what is there left to complain about? You know? Yeah. So I love it. I really do. I think it's a good fit. Josh Allen. Yeah. Josh Allen is going to do his thing. And I mean, we're going to see a huge impact for DJ Moore.
The reason I like the DJ Moore thing specifically is because he does give us the element of a wide receiver, but it's also his personality. He's not a diva wide receiver. Yeah. So on top of everything that the Bills have been trying to build, he fits the mold because he's not going to demand the attention that an AJ Brown has. I love AJ Brown. I've been on AJ Brown's side this entire side in Philly. Like but he also comes with an element of we have to cater to him. You have to cater to Justin Jefferson. You have to cater to Jamar Chase. And again, they're excellent. And I wouldn't be mad if we had them. However, they cost $40 million a year. This guy's going to cost half of that. And he's going to be just as productive. He's had 4,000-yard seasons in the last 5 seasons. You want to talk about a down year? Chicago's changing. They don't need him, and they want to go with youth. It works. It works here in Buffalo because now he also does everything that we were missing and then puts all of our other skill players in positions to succeed. And he's going to do it with a smile on his face. And he's not going to be, he's going to be Stephon Diggs without all the issues, like without all the drama. And I like that.
Diggs is still out there. If you want to,
I would be thrilled because now he knows he's not making $20 million. If we can get him on like some like under $15 million deal, I would gladly take Stephon Diggs back here.
Too. Yeah, if you're not paying that much, why not? Right, add it in.
I mean, he's great.
All right, Jerm. One to laugh and then one to make you angry. Which one do you want to start with?
Listen, if we can't laugh, we can never be serious. So give me the laughing one first.
Geno Smith is a Jet again. What year is it? What's happening here? And do we see a true competition for wide receiver at this point? Because at least to my knowledge, have they released Justin Fields or no?
No.
So I guess they're looking. And are we going to see the comeback? I know. Look, he had a down year last year, but are we going to see Seattle Geno Smith back with the team that drafted him?
Yeah. I think it's hard to judge a player when they played for the Raiders. Yeah. So there's a lot going on there.
We can judge him because he played for the Jets, though.
Yeah, but he was also young, right? Like how many times, like he had to go through all that, right? He had to go to the Jets, and I believe he played for the Giants for a season, as a backup.
Because Ben McAdoo, fucking idiot, started. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yeah. Ruined Eli Manning's streak.
Eli's streak. Yeah.
That's right.
Not even.
The stint with the Chargers and things like that. Like you have to go through things to grow. It'll be interesting to see because if you get Seattle Geno, that's something. It may not be the guy or the piece. However, it's at least competent quarterback play that you don't have to worry about. That the quarterback he may not necessarily win you a bunch of games, but he's not going to lose you a bunch either. Obviously you have to have everything else kind of right, but at least it's a big part of your offense and your team that can be consistent. And what Aaron Glenn needs at this point is consistency. So if he can get the best out of Geno Smith and that offensive coaching staff and get decent quarterback play with the weapons they have the weapons, they have the offensive talent. Like that's honestly the criticism of the Jet hasn't been the roster construction. It's just been the coaching and the underachieving. Like people are disappointed in them because they should be better. And so, that defense, it's taken some hits, but hey, we'll see what happens, man. Like I like Geno Smith. I'm rooting for Geno Smith to succeed in the NFL. Yeah. His stint in Las Vegas did not go over well, but I'm not going to blame him entirely for that. That there's a lot of things. That's why they're in the position they are in now. Like that, they're in. They have a lot of holes. It's not just the quarterback. Like I would understand if the team was awesome and Geno went there and then they went dog shit. They were always dog shit. They were dog shit before he got there. They're dog shit after he left. Like they haven't been the same since Derek Carr left for New Orleans. I mean, that's the that's the facts. And
Yeah.
so, it'll be interesting. I'm happy for Geno. It'd be a really cool story if he could resurrect his career with the team that drafted him originally. So the potential for a great storyline is there. I don't think the Jets are going to be very good this year, but we'll see what I do wish Geno the best. I really do.
It's a good arc for him. I think coming back and finding success would be a great story. Right. But when I saw that come through, I was like, of all the teams he could have possibly went to, I guess he's coming back home, But hey, good for the fans that still have a Geno Smith jersey, and I know there are plenty of them out there that do. Might be able to dust that thing off and get some more uses out of it, hopefully. All right, one to make you mad, Kenneth Walker. So can we please go one season without, I don't know, just like, I think, are we just over the Chiefs? Like they can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
They signed now Kenneth Walker in free agency, immediately upgrading the one position offensively that I think we can say they've kind of been hit or miss at from a running back standpoint. And we know that there's intent for Travis Kelce to come back at the tight end position, at least for one more year. So at this point, I mean, are we just going to expect the Chiefs to be competitive again?
My rule. You never pay skill players.
Yeah.
And they paid him a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot. It was like $12 million. But they had other issues besides, like, when you looked at the Chiefs' problems last year, the run game wasn't at the top of the list. I'll put it to you like that. It helps. Having a run game helps. I'll ask Josh Allen, ask a lot of quarterbacks who have good run games. So I'm more shocked that the Seahawks were willing to let him go, considering how large of a part. He's a Super Bowl MVP. That's what I'm shocked at, is that they were willing to just let him slide to the Chiefs of all teams. But the Chiefs have no receivers still. I mean, I guess he'll help the middling receivers they have, but we've seen what happened to the Bills. The Bills didn't have when the receivers started dropping like flies, the Bills didn't have much receivers, so you could single cover all of them. James Cook, even though he was the rushing leader towards the end of that season there, when the receivers started going, James Cook wasn't all that effective. And so, but I don't know, it'll make Patrick Mahomes better. So then I guess by proxy, the team will get better. It'll open up some things for him, and he's just good enough to overcome bad receivers. However, they have some aging on the defense. They have obviously Travis Kelce aging. That's another big part. I know they have Noah Gray there. That's like an emerging tight end. I thought the Noah Gray era would be starting here this season, but apparently not. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I like to think that what we've seen for them Chiefs lately is more in line of what we're going to see in the future. I told you this, they were a shooting star, but eventually they have to come down to earth. Like eventually they're not going to have the best of everything. I saw a crazy idea floating around that the Chiefs could end up with Diggs and Tyreek Hill back. Obviously I don't think Tyreek Hill's going to make it for the beginning of the season, but he'll be cheap. Like they could, and having enough of them with Eric Bieniemy being back in the picture. I could easily see that happening. Diggs, maybe. I think that's more of a fun thing, but I read something crazy that the Patriots cut Diggs to allow him to get the opportunity to find that $20 million year deal because they know he won't get it. And they obviously didn't want to pay him the 24 that they would have owed him from before, from the trade from Houston. And so they cut him, telling him, hey man, if you can go out there and get 20 million, hey, no hard feelings. However, we got some other stuff we want to do, and we would love to have you back for like 12 million.
Yeah.
And so if you can't find nothing in your price range, you can come on back for 12. And I think he's going to let free agency play out, and I think he's going to sign back. They picked up Romeo Dobbs as kind of an insurance thing.
Yeah. Saw that.
Which is fine. That was another guy I wanted the Bills to get as like a second tier to kind of replace Gabe Davis, because Gabe Davis tore his Achilles he tore his ACL again. I don't think they're going to sign. They might sign him back for a late run like they did last year, but he's not going to be back for a majority of the year. So I'd probably like another mid-level guy, maybe like a Jawan Jennings or something like that. But Romeo Doubs is at the top of that list. If we could have swung DJ Moore and Romeo Doubs to add to Shakir and our tight ends, man, and Keon Coleman, I'd be really happy about that. But I'll take
What's
Diggs.
wild is it's only been like 2 days, and we've already seen all of this shit come through. And it's
the problem is once the big dominoes fall, now it's kind of like we're entering scrambling territory. And listen, I looked at the free agent list before the show. There's a lot of good. Unless you were like really deep diving into a lot of these teams, like, and you really were paying attention, there's a lot of good talent out there. The problem is the market is so wacky. Like there are some overpays, and I'm not a big overpay guy. I don't really believe in you're worth whatever somebody's willing to pay you. Like overpaying for, how could you, the Bills, they overpaid for DJ Moore. How do you overpay for something that you need?
But you also you can't assess that right now, though, right? Like, and look, if you end up winning a Super Bowl, did you overpay? No.
Yeah.
But if you fall unbelievably short and don't make the playoffs, there's speculation that maybe I did overpay. But as of right now, no.
Yeah, but if you need, like, if you're the Chiefs and you need a running back, how can you say you overpaid for Kenneth Walker? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're the Panther, or Jalen Phillips signed a $30 million deal with the Panthers. If you're the Panthers and you need a defensive back help, Jalen Phillips is a Super Bowl champion defensive back for the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the best defensive backs in the league. But you got Panthers fans saying, I can't believe we gave him $30 million. Well, we didn't give him anything because you didn't contribute nothing to that contract. The Panthers gave him $30 million, and he plays for your team. And you're going to be watching the team on Sundays. So, how can you overpay for something you clearly needed defensive back help? Because that's why you lost the game to the Rams, because your defensive backs were getting torched. And now you just added one of the best ones available. So, again, how can you overpay for that when you thought you had a good enough team to compete for an NFC title? And so teams are now teams are going to start panicking. You're going to see probably crazier contracts. Like, you're going to see, certain guys who probably production only warrants a $10 to $15 million contract get $17-18 million just because that's the way the shit goes. And shout out to them.
You'll also see good production guys sign for, like, we talk about Stephon Diggs. Like, if he doesn't get his 20, he's probably going to weigh his options in terms of, like, all right, well, where am I taking a discount and what's going to give me that best opportunity to win? And maybe he does go back to the Bills for 12 mil, if he were to choose between the Pats or the Bills at the same salary, I mean, I don't know. If he has a lot of faith in the Pats, maybe he'll return. But I mean, after getting literally slapped around in the Super Bowl, I have a hard time believing he'd want to go back for that if he's taking a discount.
Yeah. I mean, Travis Kelce did it, right? He signed a 1 year, $12 million deal. He's just doing it for the vibes now, right? He's got the podcast.
What more is there left for him to do, right? I mean, it's truly not about the money for him. It's just, hey, let me ride it out and become obviously one of the best tight ends of all time. In Kansas City nonetheless. So
yeah, but it pisses me off because he's got the podcast, he's got the girl, he's got rings. Like, you're basically playing for gas money now. Like, go sit down somewhere. We don't want to see that shit. It's funny. I still can't. I can't get over Geno back to the Jets. I feel for Carl. Like, you're going back to the ex-girlfriend now. Like, that's where we are now in the relationship. Like, it's.
Yeah, because that organization has always made the most logical decisions, not to mention their coach falling asleep at a scouting combine, which at this point, I think we just have to admit that the combine is absolutely useless. Why do we still do it anymore? It's so dumb. And if your coaches are falling asleep, I think I'm in support of doing away with this. Some players don't even participate in it. And it's just, it's a show at this point. Like, some of the comments we're getting right now is, rumor has a Dua Lipa halftime show Super Bowl. I'd overpay for that.
Yeah. I'd overpay for that too. Yeah,
coming through on YouTube. This is Dua Lipa, also one of the best tight ends.
100%. Yeah. I'd turn her into a wide receiver. Wait.
Jeez.
Sorry. Okay, never mind. Yeah. She's of age, right? She's like legal.
Yeah, she's
okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know these new cats and these new their MTV with their rap videos. I don't
With
know.
their rap, MTV doesn't play videos anymore. I don't even, is MTV still a thing? I don't even know. That's the age
I think
we're at now.
we saw the beginning and the end, and it's bad, man.
Haven't we lived
Aging's
through
bad.
enough?
Yeah, I know. It's me and my wife were talking about we were watching a TV show, and how unrealistic it was, because the guy was like, well, my phone's dead, and they were at a bar, and the person was like, hey, Susie, give me the book. And she slapped a fucking phone book on the table.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder how many people know about, like, you had to like look in the phone book for somebody, and then like if you knew their last name or something, and then there was a bunch, you had to call them until you found the person you were looking for. Like those are real. That Bill character.
There's a bunch of Todd Smiths in one town. You're calling every fucking Todd Smith out there, and you're wondering, which one am I calling, dude? It's insane. That I want to know how many of these youngins can work a rotary phone. Yeah,
for sure. Or do the old 3-digit text, like, because you remember each button had 3 letters assigned.
Yeah, that was man, simpler times. I sometimes miss that when I see like my kids rush off to an iPad to do everything at their fingertips. I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know what we went through. Nobody could call our house if we had the internet going. If you called, you lost the connection right away.
You heard the Matrix. Hi, Charlotte. I know that's you texting. I know your fingers. I know your talk patterns. Like, and then if you missed the call on the house phone, because this is pre-caller ID days.
Yeah.
That's *69.
Hell yeah.
And you got to be quick.
That's how you get those prank callers. I call you.
Yeah.
And you're like, stop playing with my phone.
Yeah. Stop playing on the phone. You had to rush to the phone. God, the 100-foot corded, spiraled phone cords wrapped around the house. Oh, what a time to be alive. You kids have no idea what you're.
I have to share this story because my grandmother, huge Giant fan, which is where I get it from, because my father's a Dolphin fan, as are 2 of my brothers, and me and my other brother are a Giants fan from my grandmother. And you would not be able to call her on Sundays and Mondays. Anytime the Giants were playing, dude, it'd be the normal phone. So, she'd rush to get it. And if it was like I remember my dad one time he was cracking up when he got off the phone. He's like, hey, I'm just calling to check in, see how you're doing. And she's like, the Giants are on, click. And that's it. And she was like, no, don't bother me. Yeah. And it was the time of no caller ID. So she ran to it, figured out it was her son bothering her during a Giant game. Was just like, I don't have time for this. Put it down and continued watching the Giant game.
That's amazing. Yeah. Shout out to her. That's good stuff. Priorities are straight there. Hey, the Giants are on.
She knew. Yeah. She was a real one.
Yeah. My family, they need to take lessons from her. Hey, it's Sunday. I get these 20 weeks I get whatever these 16, 18 weeks of the year. Don't bother me when the Bills are playing. Like that's it. You have all week to take my time away from me.
The best technological advancement though is Red Zone, and I will completely 100% by that. Yeah,
I always have one TV on Red Zone, and then like I'll have the main TV. Like the main TV's on Red Zone, and then I'll have the Bills on my laptop. Or I actually bought this. It's like a rolling TV stand, and I have I put a 32-inch TV on it. That way I could roll it in the backyard.
Like a rolling TV stand is similar to what we had in elementary school when they would roll in the TV.
Kind of. Okay. It's like a stick with 4 wheels, and then it has like a regular TV. And you can adjust it so you can make it low, or you can make it pretty high. And I put my little 30. It's like a TV mount, like one would be on the wall, and I just roll it around, and I bring it outside with me if it's a nice fall day, and I sit outside and drink gin and watch the Bills if they have a late game. It's good times, man.
I can't, all this football talk. I cannot. I mean, I know we're barely crawling to summer right now, but
we have a long way to go.
Some crisp fall air and some football on the TV. What is better?
Yeah,
but I guess we'll go through baseball season.
I know. Yeah. Before we get to baseball, there is one more big deal that I actually wanted to get your thoughts on. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, staying with the Colts.
That bread. Yep.
$88 million though.
I mean, I don't know. Like, that's not my money, but again, I don't know if he's worth it. Look, he had a sweet deal with the Giants before they realized that he was trash. So it's like, why not? Hey, you fooled me once, shame on you. Fooled me twice, but he's a different athlete in Indianapolis, and I think he's shown that over this past season. And honestly, I know there's been a lot of talk back and forth of like, is this the right move? Should they have paid $88 million for Daniel Jones? And the answer is yes. You don't do what you do like the season they had last year, right up until they hit a really rough patch from an injury standpoint, he's proven that he has fit within that organization and within that system, and you have to pay him. What other options did you have out there? And I like the fact that they feel so confident enough that they're rolling with him. So honestly, like much success to him.
Yeah, I just 50 million guaranteed. I know we just talked about how the money's not real, but
Yeah.
coming off a torn Achilles, it feels more like a reward. But yeah, as you talking about baseball, I see Juan Soto hitting a home run for
the
Dominican.
DR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, listen, I haven't watched much World Baseball Classic, as you know, ever since the Edwin Diaz injury.
Yep.
I've been boycotting the World Baseball Classic. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of our players' resources. I honestly think the MLB should ban its players under contract from playing in it. That's just me. But you can't tell players what to do in the offseason, whatever. However, it's not when you have Israel and you look up their starting pitchers and the dude's from Birmingham, Alabama, you kind of lose what the World Baseball Classic is supposed to be for me. That's am I off? Like, is that am I crazy for thinking that? Okay. No. I just wanted to make sure.
So listen, I haven't been watching really any of it. You know, I've been meaning to. You know, life is happening, things are going on. I'm getting the updates. I'm seeing it's going through. And also, as much as I love Aaron Judge, like his pre-tournament speech to the team was just like, yeah, I guess let's go out and do this thing. So it wasn't really energizing. And you'd think, me being not only a huge Olympics guy, but certainly a huge hockey guy, and watching what the men's and women's Olympic teams did and how fucking awesome it was winning gold, that I would carry that same pride in my nation to another worldly global tournament. It fell flat for me. And it's partly because I was half-brained going, you know, more motioning towards spring training, seeing how the Yankees are looking. I don't know if I want to fully invest in World Baseball Classic, but then when I was looking at these rosters and I'm like, oh, this is cool. You know, we're going to be facing teams like Great Britain and Italy and, you know, even some of the Canadian team. And I'm looking and I'm like, US born. And like the Italian team, there's 2 Italians on the team. And I think the eligibility is so broad.
Yeah.
It almost feels forced by the World Baseball Committee or whoever's putting this on. And I'm all for global competitions. And I mentioned this to you before we got started today. I think timing is taking a lot out of it. I think there was a come down after the Olympics, and then this started up again with spring training. So I don't think there's a lot of eyeballs on it, at least here. Also, our own fucking team doesn't even know the rules because the Team USA thought that they were clearly onto the quarterfinals when, in fact, they needed to win against Italy. They partied too hard, made some dumb mistakes. And thankfully, I think they're past their nerves. I think Italy ended up winning today. But, you know, look, when you're facing other teams that are from players from your country, even though they're representing Italy or Canada or Israel, or, I mean, there's even a lot of US players on Mexico too. And like, look, I get it. If you're dual citizen, hold, you know, dual passports, that's fantastic. But like the eligibility is like, or if you've had one ancestor, I think it's like grandparent from there, then that makes sense too. I don't know. To me, it just takes the illusion out of a world competition also. So it's weird to watch, you know. With that being said, I think the teams that are kicking ass are the appropriate ones, right? You have the likes of the DR, you know, you have Japan doing its thing too, but we'll see as it gets further and further in this tournament. What they should do is just cut down on the amount of teams. Honestly, like we don't need this many teams. We also need to time this better too. Sorry, what I started to say before is like when we were talking about it off, you know, before we went live, I was saying a good thing that the reason the Olympics I think were so competitive, especially from a hockey standpoint, is there was a lot of players whose, you know, major league team for all intent and purpose, like the National Hockey League, their national teams, their club teams, they were down and out, you know, like they know that their chances of making the playoffs are slim. So you have players leaving it all out there for the Olympics representing their country. This is still somewhat being used as spring training to a lot of big names. So I'm not saying they're not going completely hard, but I think is their mindset completely on winning this tournament that they're a part of, or are they also using it to get ready for the season to win their championship too? If they move this to somewhere in mid-season, like an all-star break, I think that could work out a little bit better from a competition standpoint too, but there's still the risk of injury and so on. So I don't know. The best way I can describe it, Jerm, is the vibes are off with this. I don't get
Yeah.
it. And I think it's large in part because it truly feels like the players don't give a shit. And at least from Team USA.
Yeah, but Bert, nothing's better than playing for your home country and winning for your country and playing for your flag and all this shit that the Mets fans were yelling at me about when Edwin Diaz tore his ACL jumping in celebration.
I agree with you if it's the Olympics,
Yeah.
a globally recognized competition.
Right. A real competition.
Well, dare I say a real one, right?
No.
I couldn't even tell you who won the World Baseball Classic last year. Do you know?
Nope.
Was it Japan?
It might have been Japan.
This is this is what I'm talking about. Like, look, I love it in premise, and we saw a lot of success with the Four Nations tournament with the NHL last year. We have been huge proponents into global competition. Something needs to be tweaked here for more people to give a shit, I think. And look, this could just be our take, right? I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you feel differently about it. I don't know. I'm not about it right now. I'd rather watch the Yankees spring training, which we have been.
Yeah, I'd rather watch his regular Grapefruit League preseason games. I want to watch the professionals. I don't want to watch, the guys that are still playing in the schoolyard fields.
Man, Bryce Harper was catching shit too about his comments about like the Olympics versus World Baseball Classic, and I agreed with him 100%. I don't know why so many people were. I guess because they're like, oh, he's not taking it seriously. I'm like, but he's kind of right though. I mean, the Olympics are a more important tournament.
Why would anybody, if you're playing in Major League Baseball, take it seriously? This notion, because first off, like you said, you can't take it seriously when the teams aren't even comprised of the nations that you're supposed to be representing, right? So if you have the DR, most of those people on that team, there's a couple, like obviously Juan Soto, are born and raised in DR. And even if they're playing in MLB, at least they were born and raised there. You have Japan, yes. You have Otani over here, but he played in Japan. That's where he got his bones. That's where he made his legend. And, that culture in baseball is like baked into the soil there. They got the fans cleaning up after games. Like you don't see that anywhere else. And then now you have these heritage teams where guys have to learn the national anthem on the plane ride over. Like it's all, the WBC has been nothing but a glorified branding avenue for MLB. And if I'm a fan of a country that's actually trying to build like a blue blood grassroots baseball program, and I see a bunch of Americans in different hats winning games in our country's name, you think that doesn't inspire me? Like it's just a curated exhibition, similar like an MLB secondary market, and it's like, oh, who can I represent? My cousin's my mother's cousin's uncle, grew up in Kyrgyzstan. Let me go ahead and play for them. Whatever. And it's bad. It's a bad look. I can't stand it. I had a disagreement with the Don last night about the WBC. To me, it was a bit of a joke with contrived roster. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If your roster is straight Japanese talent and not American talent who's, second generation removed from being from Japan. So like maybe if your grandparents are from there and you've never touched foot in Japan, and you grew up, your parents spoke, you spoke perfect English, you're an Asian American, like you're an American, man. I'm African American. I'm not playing for the African team. Like that's just the way it is. I'm playing for the American team because I'm American, and it waters it down. If you don't have enough players to field in Israel, but every single player. Now listen, Bert, not a political show. Israel's a little busy right now, but
so are we.
I mean, yeah, technically, right? So are we. Yeah. That ain't stopping us. That's right, Bert.
No.
If you don't have enough players to field a national team, then you shouldn't be in the World Baseball Classic.
I refuse to believe this is the global competition thing with me. There's no reason, like I can guarantee you there are baseball players in other countries. It's just that these athletes here are using it to their advantage because they couldn't make the US team. So they're going to go ahead and play for where they have heritage. Here's a prime example of it. And I'm not dogging Austin Wells by any means, but Austin Wells' parents, Greg and Michelle Wells, both of whom were athletes at University of Arizona. His mother has Dominican descent, which qualifies Austin to play for the DR. That's fine. right? But that wouldn't qualify under Olympic standard. Therefore, like this is these broad intricacies of like, oh well, my mother has descent, therefore I'm able to qualify for and go from there. When in fact, like we know that there are plenty of athletes in the DR, in Mexico, in Israel that could qualify for it. And like, if you want to put your country's best of the best, make sure that they're there, right? I do like the idea of, just that, right? Like let's put and like we can take Czechia as a prime example of this. There was that, and this dude gets my game ball, so spoiler alert. But I'm probably going to butcher his name, so I'm going to stick to his last name, to be honest with you. But the pitcher, Satoria, electrician by day, pitcher for Czechia, struck out Ohtani, pitched a scoreless 4.2 innings, right?
Nice,
fantastic outing. But it's stories like that. Dude's an electrician, took PTO to pitch in the World Baseball Classic. And they may not go far, but the fact that he struck out one of the best guys in Major League Baseball, or one of the best baseball players in the world at this point, not a trained baseball player, like this just shows that every country could have athletes that can compete with the best of the best. That's what's so fun about the Olympics too. I mean, we saw it with the Winter Olympics and Olympic hockey, these team sports. I mean, you had these individuals on the hockey rosters who weren't professionals. They didn't play in the NHL or the KHL or any other type of professional hockey league, but they got it together and they came out and they competed. And that's what gets noticed. That's what these stories are for. So it's a little bit muddled sometimes with the World Baseball Classic and their qualifications. Yes. And I think that's what's kind of hurting it a tad when it comes down to the viewers too.
88 Cuddy says the Little League World Series is premier international baseball tournament. Yeah. In America, at least, I think Americans do care more about the Little League World Series than the World Baseball Classic. And I get, again, Ohtani playing for Japan makes sense because you guessed it, he's Japanese. Yeah. Like he's from Japan. But again, the pitcher for Israel is like from Alabama. Like I can't get down with that shit, man. Like that's not real to me. To me, and this is speaking from the side that's against the World Baseball Classic. If I was for the World Baseball Classic, that would piss me off too. Like that should piss you off. Like that doesn't make any sense. Next WBC, Jerm's playing. Unless
I am all for a lottery system. This shit came up in a bunch of memes during the Olympics. I'm all for if there was like a separate category. You had your professional athletes that work towards this, and there was a lottery system where it just picked random citizens of countries to go compete in games. That would be amazing. Yeah, I'd be for it 100%.
Unless WBC stands for Wicked Bad Caucasians, I'm not playing in it. Like that's the only ones I'm into. The bad Caucasian, bad. My Bang Bros folder will tell you. There's a bunch of so yeah, your game ball. I think I saw that because I believe that guy also in his younger years did play professional Japanese baseball. Like he played baseball in Japan. I think. So, and then obviously he went on to be an electrician for his country. Like this was, it wasn't like he was just there. It's just like he spent some time pitching in Japan, trying to make it. Was like, I'm not going to make it. Obviously went back home, took on a regular job that just like some players. Yeah.
Honestly, like most athletes do that don't make it to the show. They go and like, maybe it would help if we honestly disallowed professional athletes to participate in the World Baseball Classic. Maybe it would force individuals or countries to put out the best talent of those countries. Yeah. I'm sure not, because I'm sure even like, top university players or, if we allow AAA, AA, single A affiliates to send guys, then I think they'd still try to fall into the rules that we currently have right now. So I just think maybe they change it a little bit, or cool. Keep it. Who cares? At this point, like, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, until you're.
Does everybody know the rules? Please, Team USA, can you get it the fuck together? Okay.
But that's how you know it's also not real. Like
they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like you would think that's something that you would know. Like if this was not only the World Series or if this was the MLB playoffs, they would know what the fucking rules would be.
Yeah.
Like they don't.
It's not just on the manager, right? It can't just be on who is it? DeRosa? Is that his name?
Yeah, DeRosa.
I don't even know. But like the players too. Like you're gonna tell me not one person said, "Hey, this game matters. We should try to step it up a bit." No.
Yeah.
It was there for the party.
Look at DJ Moore already in Buffalo. He's already in the Buffalo practice facility. What a day.
Is he really?
What a day.
What a guy.
They just
What
posted
a
it.
guy. Man, I can't believe you talked all that shit on him last year. Unbelievable.
I know. Well, it was his quarterback. I wasn't. I never said a bad word against the Chicago Bears or anybody on
that's
it.
definitely not like you.
No,
No,
not like me. My game ball's going to Bam Adebayo from the Miami Heat. Dropped 83 points on the basically junior varsity Washington Wizards.
Washington Wizards.
Listen, 83 is 83. I know there's a lot of people hating on it. No, it's not as impressive as Kobe's 81.
No,
it's not as impressive as Joel Embiid scoring 73 in 3 quarters. You stat padded. Your team was up 30 or 20 or whatever you were up. You were chasing it, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like, I get it. 83 points is 83 points in the NBA. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that it sucks, but I'm also not going to prop it up and put it, you're posting pictures of you and Wilt Chamberlain and Kobe. It's not the same. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, Bam. Hey, good for you. Shout out to you. 83 points is a good accomplishment, and nobody's going to take it from you. That's a record. It's a record, and you're going to hold it until somebody scores 84. And that's fine. It's just, I'm not going to put it up there with Kobe's. I'm not going to put it up there with Joel Embiid's, again, who only scored 73, but he did it in the scope of the game, and he sat out the entire fourth quarter, in which he definitely would have scored 10 more points, and probably more. And so, and he did it on 43 free throws, which kind of, the half of the points are free throws. He dropped 83 and his girl is still better. Yeah, shout out to Asia Wilson. Yeah, Mr. Asia Wilson. You're not Bam Adebayo. You're Mr. Asia Wilson because you're not the best basketball player in your family. Yeah, so that's, but still, you get a game ball. Shout out to you. I mean, it's cool. Like, 83 is impressive. It is impressive, but yeah, it's not all-time great like everybody thinks it is. Bert, anything else?
No, I think I'm good. I think we covered it. We went through the gambit here. Yeah. I mean, look, more NFL stuff to come, more baseball stuff to come as we are, crawling our way towards opening day.
Shefty just dropped that Kyler Murray is visiting with the Vikings tomorrow. So
no way.
I don't know why you would visit a team specifically in Minnesota and not sign with them. So good for them. Why that's interesting is I was 100% sure Kirk Cousins was going back to Minnesota, but it's not. I guess.
I think he's probably hanging him up. I don't know if anybody's gonna.
Yeah. If it is, it's gonna be like the Saints. Well, no, Saints have Tyler Shogue. It's gonna be some bad team that ain't got nothing to lose. Like even the Cardinals said that they were gonna ride it with Jacoby Brissett and whoever they drafted. I don't really see a place. I don't really see a place for him. So Pittsburgh.
You're checking out people at Kohl's.
Yeah. Which I mean, listen, that guy made $330 million in his career. I think he's fine not playing football. Yeah. Does he want to play football? I'm sure. But I think he'll end up in Pittsburgh now if Aaron Rodgers doesn't return. I think that'll be probably what you see there. Pittsburgh would probably be the only place I could think of. Thank you guys. Please follow us at Stuff About Sports on the Instagram. Check out www.giveusashot.network. Follow the Give Us a Shot Network on Facebook, Instagram, and the TikTok. Until then, me and Bert will talk to you next week. We'll talk more NFL because I'm sure there's a couple more dominoes to fall, and we'll have some fun, and we'll try to line up some guests for you guys. But until then, take care of each other, have fun. And stay away from Ronda Rousey, Geno Carano. I've had a lot of dreams about them wrestling, and apparently they're going to wrestle for real. They just did like
WWE or like MMA?
No, like MMA, like a fight,
shit,
like a real fight. Yeah.
Wow,
Geno Carano,
that's huge.
That is huge. So we'll talk about that and see what happens there. It'll be a little bit different than the dreams that I have about them fighting. It's a different kind of fighting, and I'm involved, and maybe some whipped cream.